Greetings and welcome to Mount Olympus. I am Hercules Invictus, and today I'm here with Ann Nelson, who's running for office here in Tenafly, New Jersey. She's running for the TENAFLY Council. Greetings, Ann. How are you?
Well, hello, Hercules. Thank you so much for having me. I am fine. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic, and thank you so very much for standing up to the plate and wanting to take responsibility for the guidance and destiny of our borough.
Well, I'm happy to do so.
So you're
So,
well known in our community as an educator. Please tell us a little bit about yourself and what led you to make this monumental decision.
okay. Well, as some of us might know, I've been in Tenerife for 30 years, and I've raised my two children here from Stillman all the way to 12th grade. And I've been a teacher in town for 28 years. I was born in Brooklyn, and when I was 6 years old, my family decided to move to Switzerland with my father and my brother and my sister. And the reason being is that my mother worked for the United Nations, and she was offered a position in Geneva. So Geneva was quite an experience. I was there for many years, and I was really blown away by the beauty of the place, but also by the fact that I really got to meet all types of people there because there are children of diplomats, there are people who have multi or international companies. So in my school, I was very happy to do a lot of traveling. I did a lot of I ate a lot of fondue with my classes. We went chocolate factory visits. We went to Gruyere to test the Swiss cheese. We went skiing in the Alps. So we had really my youth has been very interesting, I find. And with my family, we did a lot of camping. My father was an avid camper, and we went around Europe to Spain to Italy. We loved the food there. And we even bought a house. We were living in Geneva, but we were so close to France that we had a house of a weekend house that was a bit of a fixer-upper in the French Maule Mountains. So we spent a lot of weekends just being outdoors, and being outdoors really something has stuck with me. And to this day, I continue to really include that in my life and here in Tenerife as well. I also, in the atmosphere of Geneva, was very international. I was able to build a lot of relationships with different people from different backgrounds. And most of all, I appreciated with my family, we had a lot of discussions around the dinner table. And my mother was sent to different parts of the world for the UN. So she went to parts of Asia, to Africa, and she would always come back with amazing stories. And that really planted a seed of interest in me and my siblings. And also, we would combine these conversations along with my father's experience in World War II. He was a veteran of the Tuskegee Airmen. And to this day, I'm very fascinated to learn more about veterans in general because I find they have given so much for the country. And I feel that sometimes they're not really always fully understood or appreciated upon their return. So veterans have been uh, just a fascinating topic, and I've spoken to many of them. When my father was ill at the end of his life, he was in the VA hospital in Brooklyn, and I had a chance to talk to many, and their stories and what they did just really were very very interesting to me. I would say that, and when I moved back to New York, I went to a French high school, the Lycée Français de New York, which is on the Upper East Side. And there again, I had a chance to meet people of different backgrounds, and that I think forged my interest of global interest in general. So, and the lycée, by the way, is still there. And my connection now with the lycée is that my students in Tenafly who take French have had the chance to uh, go to the lycée and to pick up their medals there. And so that was I still have a relationship with that school. And finally, I went to NYU and I graduated. I studied art history, French, Spanish literature, and I have a teaching certificate from NYU. So that's let's just say that I had many teaching jobs, and in each job I had the opportunity to really develop my interest in community, and this brought me to Tenafly. Okay,
Wow,
so
you're well traveled, you're well educated, and you've traveled and lived through different types of historical and cultural perspectives. So you're bringing a lot of unique things to the table here.
yes, well, true. And I would like to say that also when I was in New York, I had the chance to work in very different settings of schools. And I do feel that it helped me again understand what education is about. And my point is, being a teacher is related to what I see happening for my next chapter, which is running for town council. So I will just say that in New York, I worked at the St. Anne School. I was at NYU. I taught also at the Spence School and the Pratt Institute. So again, I find that that helped me understand who I am as a teacher. And now my last few years have just been confirming my love for my profession.
That's an incredibly rich a palette of information and perspectives that you're bringing to the contest. How do you think that these will help you in helping in the governance of Tenafly and guiding the destiny of Tenafly?
Okay, well, I feel that teaching has really taught me to build strong relationships with people. It has helped me in my all my years here in Tenafly to get to know the community. I think also teaching has made me very aware of what people in the town are about. So what does that mean? That means I think I can bring to the table a perspective as a teacher that maybe would be a different perspective than other people running, only because I have, as a teacher, the front row seat, if you will, about what's happening in town. I have seen over my years, you know, 10 or 5 families of all types, some who had very good relationships, some had some difficulties, some had the best situation possible. So I believe that being a teacher in town also gives me the community trust, because I've seen thousands and thousands of students and parents and students who graduated and came back to talk to me and said what it meant to be in town and the importance that the education they had here grounded them and helped them become who they are today. And also, I think as a teacher, and how is this linked to a town council, is that I feel that we are very good listeners. And I think that over the years, I've listened and mediate disputes. I've helped de-escalate tensions. I've tried to find consensus among people. So I think that's something I could bring to the table through my experience as a teacher. And also as a teacher, I think we learn how to think in terms of long terms, in terms of a generational infrastructure. In other words, some things we understand are not fixed immediately. And I think teachers understand that, sometimes you just need you need patience. You need to work things out. You need to talk. You need to plan things. And I think this patience piece and understanding what is in front of us is a very important part um, of this position that I am aspiring to have. So I would say also finally, as a teacher, it's the importance of maintaining a balance. I think that in our schools, the way I've seen the schools over the years, it's this fabric that is between educators and students, and we need to make sure that this is a balance that does not get pushed to the limit, does not get overflown, and it needs to really remain strong. So I am going to make sure that we can keep this balance, this equilibrium, if you will.
That's very comforting to know, especially now we seem to be living in times of um, opposition rather than coming together. And diversity, which used to be considered a strength, is now considered by many not to be a strength. So we're in changing times and divisive times. So being a teacher and having all those perspectives must come in handy
Yes.
in that challenge.
Mhm. Okay. Um,
Now,
and
I,
yes, please.
although my life journey is taking me to other places as yours, I lived a chunk of my life in TENAFLY, and one of the things I find wonderful about TENAFLY, and I consider a great strength, is that even though people have different perspectives and different opinions about things, and even have strong feelings about things that they feel uh, powerfully about, people seem to genuinely care about TENAFLY.
I agree. I've noticed that there is if I bump into people in a different location that are from Tenafly, we immediately understand each other. There's a certain kindness and understanding that comes from being in Tenafly, from being from Tenafly, and so I've noticed that too. I agree with what you're saying about Tenafly. Um, and I think your question was, what is truly great about Tenafly? Was that?
Great identify. I'm very mythical in my world view. That's pretty obvious, I think, to anybody who's seen me or talked to me. And I remember when I was very much more active in the town, I used to attend the mayor and council meetings all the time. I used to be the chairperson of several committees, and I used to attend other committees. Um, I heard people refer to Tenafly as Camelot, and I could understand this. And mythically, that resonated very powerfully with me. So I find those things wonderful about the Tenafly, and I wanted to know what you considered wonderful, because we both share this love of Tenafly, and you've mentioned many times that you've met other people in town, and there seems to be a resonance with the greater concept of Tenafly.
Absolutely, and that's so. I would say, well, not because I'm an educator, but because I know that the first observation that people say about Tenafly is how great the schools are. Okay,
Mhm.
that's really our jewel of the crown, if you will. And I would say that people from different parts of the country and even internationally have moved to Tenafly to be benefiting from what the school system has to offer. I That would definitely be something that is great about Tenafly. There are many things, but I will say, of course, the nature center is an absolutely amazing place. Another jewel of the crown is definitely that amazing walking there is like you are in a so far from New York, so far from everything. So I enjoy hikes there, and I feel that also the programs that they provide for young people, for adults, is extremely enriching to anyone in town, and that's something that is absolutely special. I think we have other very special things in town, and that would be the library, of course. It's an amazing place to for also for students after school to be able to find a place to study and to wait for parents to come home, or just sort of a safe place to be. So I find that's also a very positive place in Tenafly. Of course, I enjoy the unique charm walking. I do a lot of walks in Tenafly, and I enjoy the quietness of the streets. I also enjoy the trees that we have, and I feel a very uh, I think we're just so lucky to be so close to New York, yet in such a rustic, not or beautiful surroundings. And when I look outside and I see when I see the beauty of our town, I feel very content.
Yeah,
Um,
wise to many people. It is a beautiful place on many different levels, Tenafly. And it has challenges, though, like every place of residence does. And there are certain things people are not in agreement upon. Uh,
mhm. Oh,
what do you think the greatest challenges confronting us are right now, and what would you do to address those challenges?
okay, so maybe I'll get to, I have a few, and I will say that one that um, s- when I've spoken to people around town, there are concerns about the affordability of our town. I think for young people, Tenafly is maybe not always so affordable for a starter home. I think there's a concern about um, the prices of homes for that group of people. And I'm also, when I speak to senior citizens, they're also concerned about the price has that is just making this town less affordable for them as well. So a concern that I have, a challenge, is how to maintain a balance or attract both end, if you will, of the spectrum, and maintain that multi-generational richness that is Tenafly. So that is definitely a challenge I do see. Another challenge I see is preserving what we just discussed, Hercules, the beauty of this town. We can't take beauty like this for granted. And I think that everything requires work. And I am very concerned when I hear about trees being pulled down, or that just makes me just a little concerned, if you will. And I think that our green spaces and our parks must be our priority. But of course, I think one of the biggest challenge at this point that we are facing as a town is is this the building that is proposed, which is a six-story construction that will offer units, residential unit, 95 residential units, and hotel rooms, about 200 of those rooms. Um, and this will make it actually one of the tallest building in the area. My concern with that I is when I speak to people about this project, and I've talked to my neighbors or people downtown. My concern is that many people have not heard about this project or heard information that's not correct. So when I explain to them what the project is, and people have very different reactions, and They are usually quite surprised. They're shocked, and there's a bit of disbelief and disappointment because they feel, and this is a sentiment that was expressed to me several times, is this lack of transparency that's coming from the local government. Some people are they're feeling that this life changing structure in the sense of size for TENAFLY has not been properly explained to them. And they feel that it is an issue for them to have not been really told. And there's also, I think it's a question of trust at the end of the day. I think we can do better. We should be doing a better job in communicate what we are planning to do in town, and that's something I think that we really need to address. Now, let's be very clear. We know that this is not about no development. We all agree that the Clinton Inn right now is an eyesore. The Clinton Inn cannot remain the way it is. It is not, it's just not possible. So we all agree, I think, that it needs to be changed. But what I'm hearing from the last meeting I attended, when people spoke about their feelings about this construction, it wasn't the fact that they did not want a building, is the fact that the building was so big, was so out of proportion compared to the rest of the town. So people express a desire to, can we reduce that? Can we make it four? So, and people were, I you know, they want to have the a possibility or an option to listen to different versions of this plan. So that's basically what I've noticed, is that people in town, a majority feel that there should be a better communication and a better responsibility on the part of local government to express the plans that come ahead. So
To open forums for people to go and discuss this in the borough hall. And the people that I've spoken to didn't really object to the expansion, but they were concerned that once you allow one building to be 6 stories, then the next thing you know, everybody's going to be building 6-story buildings and pushing for 7. So that was what I heard from a lot of people. And as someone who's almost 70, what do you call it, as an old person who's getting older and Tenafly, I too am seeing my dollars not as stretched as it was not too long ago. I'm having concerns about the price of living generally and specifically here in Tenafly. So those are all important issues, and thank you for bringing them to our attention and showing that you care about them and that you're on the ball with them.
thank you.
Now,
Yes.
so Tenafly's challenges like every other borough has, every other town has, every other state and country has, but we need to be more aware of those challenges. How can we become more aware? I'm willing to devote some time and space on my channel where these things can be discussed. We can make people more aware of meetings that are taking place, that they're open, that they can attend either virtually or in person. And maybe we can hold public meetings that are a little bit more informal, where people can shoot these issues back and forth and see what they come up with. But I'm open to, again, what little I can contribute toward that endeavor, contributing toward that endeavor.
That sounds like a wonderful idea. I like that. That idea of being able to open a discussion and make it more accessible to people, especially people who might not have not on the social media, who might not be aware of some of these things that are sometimes only accessible or on our phones. So I would welcome a place where we can, as you said, we could just talk and uh, see what we can do to go further with all this.
So one day when we have more time and we're not on a podcast, we'll get together for a cup of coffee and let's see what we can come up.
That's like sounds like a plan. I would love that. I do love that.
And you're someone who seems very far-seeing because you've traveled widely and you've educated yourself and you have a historical view of things and progression of generations and you have a lot of forward thinking and vast perspectives. Um, what is your vision for Tenafly? Like, what would you like to see ideally?
Well, that's a good question. I think I would like to acknowledge that, first of all, Tenafly has many uh, great events that are already available. And I can think, for example, that the 5K run and dog walk, which I think is a wonderful example of shared spirit and connection for the residents, whether they're runners or not. I've been attending this event for years, and I enjoy just seeing the community show up with their dogs and have a laugh and just relax and see all generations there participating in the event. I also feel that what we have with the summer concerts and the fireworks, we have amazing things happening right now. I do feel though that we can maybe expand more of these events because I think why not offer more opportunities for people to meet? And that could be, for example, we could have historical festivals. We could maybe have some sort of like hub, all age hub where different generations could exchange stories and maybe one generation would um, explain a little bit about technology, and the older generation would maybe talk about their lives, and just more of an exchange in a natural setting, in a relaxed setting. And I know this is already happening to some extent, but I would like to spread that more. And I also feel that um, I basically feel that we really need to continue this multi-generational exchange that we have.
I agree with you 100%. When I was the president of the Friends of the Preston Library, not too long ago, that was one of my pet projects that I wanted to happen. And although we talked about it a lot, it just never came to be. But since I was recording things, I wanted to record people sharing their stories about growing up and living in Pressfield, and then getting people from all sorts of backgrounds and all sorts of genres. Maybe we could make a show about that and work together.
I love that. I love that. And also maybe a way of having more art displayed. Maybe have young people also show their talent and maybe have a show or for their works, and share more of the talent that we have and open up uh, a bit more the schools with the community. I feel that there's some work to be done there. And I feel also, as far as the government goes, local government, I would like students to be more informed about what is happening in towns and have them basically interested, engaged. When I talk a little bit about the town and how it works, they uh, they're a little confused, and I would think there's an opportunity there to try to bridge um, young people with their town. And that's something I would like to be able to promote more.
Like to see all those things as well. Those are great things, and any way I could help out to help you bring these about, I'm on board.
Thank you, Hercules. Thank you.
I think we have a really good idea about you and what you stand for and what you're all about. Is there anything you'd like to add to the things that we discussed?
I could maybe just have a little, if I may read something, if that's okay. I would like to, in sort of my final words and my final thoughts, is I am extremely excited to be running for this town council. I feel that I will have a lot to bring from my perspective as a teacher and more. And I feel that residents deserve to be informed. I feel that we have to, when people stay engaged, I think we all make better decisions together. So I like the idea of bringing people together as what we have talked about here. I also I feel that I am here to serve all residents of Tenafly, and it's truly an honor to give back to the town where I have lived for 30 years, where my children grew up, and where I am completing my 28th year as a teacher. So I would like to really thank everyone for your support and for your vote, and to help keep Tenafly a town that works for everyone. So thank you, Hercules, for listening to my thoughts. And
And how can people find out more about you and your background and what you stand for? How can they get more involved in your campaign?
I think at this point, the best thing is to go to our website, Carol. So it's www.carolandannfortenafly.com. And there you can find some of the views that I've expressed along with Carol. And we are both here to make a difference. We are really trying to just bring everyone together. So that is our mission. And you can definitely find out more on our website.
I will put a link with this video. If all goes well and Zoom's technology allows, it should be
Let's
up
hope.
later tonight by tomorrow at noon. So I will let you know on Facebook and by email when it's posted, and I'll provide you with the link.
Oh,
Thank you so very much. I wish you great success. Your sign and Diane's are on my front lawn. So
oh,
I wish you great success, and um, hopefully next time we talk, you'll be telling me about your triumph in the election.
well, thank you, Hercules, for taking the time to talk to me, and your support for the town and for the candidates is really amazing. So thank you so much. I really appreciate your time.
My pleasure. Thank you. Good night.
Good night.